The first part of our system in Inspire Institute, by way of Inspire Network, is to ask. It's our power question. It's a piquing interest question. And the beautiful thing, and I love what Mr. Damon Crump says, is yes, I want you to be systematic, but I don't want you to be robotic. What he means is, yes, this phrase that pays works, and it will work for people that you have a relationship with, but it may not work for your closest of closest friends. And here's how the question goes. You simply have some rapport and a relationship with an individual, someone that you know, and your conversation after of course, you're on the phone and you guys are dialoguing, and you simply ask them, hey, there's something I got to ask you. If you had information that could possibly save your life or the life of a person you love or care about, would you share it? And of course, they're going to probably say a number of different responses. Yes, or what is it? Or what are you trying to pitch me if this is a very close friend? And so if it is a very close friend, I always just tell them, hey, there's something you got to see. I can't explain it. And they're probably going to ask me, Ramon, well, what is it? No, you have to see it. And every time I've used that approach with people that I'm very close with, I send them directly to step 2, which is the video. And today I'm going to break down the different videos that I use. For men, I use the Damon Crump video that's on YouTube. For women, I use the Cherish video. But for people that have a short attention span, there is a Cherish video that is on YouTube that's only 5 minutes long. And that's the video I send a lot of the executives that I've had an opportunity to rub shoulders with, because the 20-minute Cherish video is a little too long for them. Their day is already short as it is, and they're doing me a favor. In fact, they're doing themselves a favor that they don't know. But in this relationship, they're doing me a favor by taking some time out to watch the video. So the last thing I want to do is give them a video that's 20 minutes long. And so we're going to talk about that later in the training, but that's the next step. And then you got to set a date and time to follow up with them. Hey, let's get together and talk about what you liked. And notice my wording. Let's get together and talk about what you liked after you watch the video. Say tonight, or when do you think you're going to watch the video? And they say tomorrow. Well, let's get together tomorrow evening around this time. There's a very, very successful gentleman in business that he's going through the process right now. And I've done this exact approach with many, many people, regardless of their income bracket, regardless of their experience in the industry. And it's been very, very successful. And so now when we're back on the phone after that, after they've watched the video and I'm following up with them, there's, one of two conversations. But my first response is, what did you like best? Because that's really what I want to know. I don't want to know what they would change or anything of that nature. I want to know what they like best. And they're going to give me a response. And I've gotten many responses. Man, I like the product. Well, great. I'm going to talk about the product. Well, they talk about is there an opportunity attached to this? And then I'll talk about the business. Or they say, when can I get my hands on the product? If they make that statement, I'm not talking about the business. I'm doing everything that I can to secure them as a customer, and only a customer until they move themselves from a customer to a distributor. And, if they say, if I'm not in the position where I'm able to answer a lot of their questions, let's say I don't have the experience that I have. Well, my goal when they show interest in doing the business is to put them on a 3-way call with my upline. But here's how I have to set it up. I have to build a level of respect for my upline. I just can't say, if Sheila is a person that I've shown the video to, I've piqued her interest, she's shown interest in the business, and I say, Sheila, you've got to talk to Damon. No, that's just not going to work. That's not going to create the level of respect that is needed for Sheila to give this the adequate attention that is needed. And so what I'll do is I'll say, Sheila, there's a gentleman that I have a lot of respect for that is extremely successful in this industry. In fact, he's helping people right now that will become multiple 6-figure earners. And his time is very, very limited. But he did let me know that if someone was interested to the caliber and the level of success that you've had, he could spare 5 minutes or so. What 2 times are you available? And I'll make one of those times work with Mr. Crump. And I always use Mr. or Ms. or Mrs. to build another level of respect for my upline. And then I'll set up the 3-way call. And then once I put the 2 on the phone, I sit there and I listen idle. I put my phone on mute and I'm taking notes, even to this day, even with all the experience that I have. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is to promote the events. And this is, of course, after they've made the decision to join and they want to be a part of it. I just brought in another young man, Charlie Andrews, out of, well, he's in Georgia, but he's going to the Savannah meeting today. Because here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to get people all excited, all engaged, and not get them to that next level. Because there's a principle. We get them in, we keep them in, and we move them along. Well, getting them in, of course, is through the process of piquing their interest and showing them the video. Keeping them in is getting them to an event. And that's going to help them buy into the belief of the vision. Yes, you're going to be able to share it with them. They can feel your passion. They can feel your energy. And if you're in, close proximity in the same room as them, they can see it. But when you get them to an event and they hear those testimonials, you get them to an event and they meet a Sheila Washington, you get them to an event and they meet a Lisa, you get them to an event and they hear these testimonials from the group in LA or Denver or Arizona or, Atlanta, wherever. What happens is now they've bought into the vision. They've heard you. They've felt you, but now they see more people and there's more social proof. Now you couldn't cut them out of this business with a 2x4 or a crowbar. They're going to do this business without you. And that's, of course, what we all want to build, a solid foundation, but it's based on these 3 steps. Everything that I show you today, none of it works without this system. None of it will be effective. None of it will stick long-term without this system. I've been fortunate and blessed to build teams of over 20,000 around the world. It took me 5 years or so to build that foundation and to get there. Well, I believe we'll do that, half of that in 30 days here because of the timing of the industry, because of our unique product that is a disruptor in many different fashions, as well as our compensation plan, but it's the vision. It's the vision. It's the movement of now we know. That's going to move so many people that would have never done network marketing before, would have never, had opened their home up and had home meetings, would have never jumped on conference calls, would have never come to an event or events like this. That's what's going to move them. And that's why step 3, step 2, step 1 equally are all important. But the events are going to build a very solid foundation for you and all your entire team. If your goal is to build a 6-figure income or higher, plug into every single step. Do every single step. Do not miss one. And go back to this replay or go back to the replay of any leader that is teaching these steps so that you can get refreshed and teach it to your group over and over and over again. And don't think that you're beating a horse or a dead horse, as they say. Don't think that you're beating a horse by doing it every single time. No, you got to do it every single time. You've got to teach this to your group and have them teach that as well.